Hey everybody, Dave here. Hope you're having an awesome day. So, a few weeks back, a buddy of mine was just talking with me and he's like, hey, what is the simplest robot you could possibly build? And I thought, I don't know. So I've been noodling on that a little bit. And the other day I was scrolling through Instagram and I found the account The Moon Ghoul, and he does some really cool artwork, but he was showing off his collection of Popsies. And what they are these little wooden characters, and you would push down on them and a little sign would come up. And Rolly Crump was one of the main artists of these back in probably the 60s. He's an old school Imagineer, worked on the Haunted Mansion, the Tiki Room, I think even It's a Small World. But anyways, he did some really cool things, and I thought, I really love the aesthetic of that and the simplicity. It's just a simple wooden dowel, and could I turn that into a robot? So come on, let's try it. So for my build, I'm going to use this 1.5 wooden dowel. And I cut two different sizes, but I decided to go with the larger one. I thought it would give me a little bit more real estate and a little bit more fun to work with. And a lot of you in my last video told me about a great little tool to find the center point on a circle, but I haven't gotten that yet, so I went ahead and just kind of did it with my little template here. And I'm just kind of doing an X here. And then what I'll do is I'm going to use this wooden dowel here, which I think is 5/16. So I'm going to find the halfway point on both of these, and I'll drill some holes on my drill press downstairs. I am going to kind of start some little holes so it's a little bit easier to get that drill press in there. And there are my holes. Looks pretty great. Do a quick little test run with the wooden dowels, and they fit perfect. They fit really nice, in fact. Now, I got this little chop saw for my birthday. It's actually coming up next week, but my dad gave it to me a little bit early, and this thing is cool. So I got to utilize that. I cut some legs, and I was like, those might be a little small. So I went ahead and cut a little bit longer piece because I wasn't quite loving those little guys. So here's the little bit longer legs, and I think that's gonna work. I think I like that height. To make sure the dowel is nice and smooth, I'm gonna use this 240 and then 400 grit sandpaper, and this is just kind of the tedious work. I want a nice, clean, smooth surface that I can work on and paint. For the feet, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this 5-gallon paint stick, so it's the bigger paint stick, and I'm gonna chop this down. And I did drill holes on my drill press. They're a little off, so I'm going to sand that down just to kind of narrow that up a little bit. Ended up working pretty nice for me because it actually made the gap between the two even a little bit bigger, so it feels really nice. They fit great, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and glue these on. Put a little bit of glue. I did a little piece of paper just to smear that around because I don't want the glue gobbing out all over the place. Kind of carefully fit them, use the other foot to kind of line it up. Got the other foot glued on, and I think that's going to work really nice. I let that dry for a couple minutes, then I got it ready for priming. Now I'm painting this with a gray primer, and I am so impatient. I touched it and I messed it up, so no problem. I'm just going to take the 400 and just carefully sand that out. Now that it's all sanded and clean, I sprayed the whole thing white. I wasn't quite sure how to do this color scheme yet. I was thinking maybe I'll paint the whole thing silver, and I thought no. So I thought maybe I'll start with a light gray. So I painted with this light gray. It's a really light gray. It almost looks white. So we'll see how that turns out. Here what I'm doing is I'm sketching up my robot, and this is kind of my first pass at it. This is kind of a rough sketch, and I'm just trying to get a feel for the size of everything. I've done some erasing and moving things around. Now I'm moving it over to the light table, and I'm redrawing the whole thing just to ensure that it's nice and clean. I did use a stencil there to get nice circles, kind of redrawing and sketching the arms, the hands. Everything here was pretty much just retrace. The only difference here is everything has shifted over to center on that little piece of paper. Now that it's centered on the paper, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it around the wooden dowel, and I'm just kind of inspecting how I like the placement of it, looking at the arms. I think I'm going to move this arm a little bit closer, and now that that's done, I'm going to go back to the light table. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to retrace the entire thing with a number 2 pencil just to lay down some lead so I can transfer this onto the wooden dowel. So I'm just kind of carefully drawing over it. You'll notice I'm not drawing the arms because I'm going to go ahead and take a popsicle stick and build something a little bit more dimensional. So I've got the whole thing redrawn. And now that it's redrawn, I'm going to kind of lay it out on the wooden dowel and I'm going to wrap it around. And I think I'm going to tape it into place. That way I can actually kind of hold it so it stays. So here I've got a couple little pieces of tape on it. And now from the front side, I'm going to retrace over the whole thing again. So this is kind of a tedious process of drawing, tracing, laying lead on the backside. But here's the end result as I unwrap this. I got a really nice transfer, and now I can start painting this thing. Now for painting, again, I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to go about doing this. So I'm going to just start with the eyes and paint this out white. And what I ended up doing was, I'll do a little time lapse here, but I ended up starting just blocking everything white. Blocked in the eyes, then I blocked in the mouth, and then I'm going to move down and block in the gears and the little panels on the body. With this being blocked in white, I'll be able to add color onto this a lot easier. And then I was thinking, okay, for the face, maybe I'll make it silver, and I might actually paint the body like a red. Because I was looking at some vintage 50s robots, and they were just like these really beautiful, shiny reds. So I thought, okay, if these panels and the face and everything are this silver, and then the body's red, that will really help this stand out. So right now, it looks super bizarre, but this is one of those, like, trust the process. You can see this panel, I actually outlined it with the bright silver, and I'm filling it in with a darker metallic. It's like almost like a gunmetal metallic. It's not quite that dark, but... And then I did a little rim around the neck just so it kind of gave some kind of separation. I was hand brushing this darker gunmetal metallic kind of around the mouth. I wasn't sure if I should use micron pens or not. I kind of went back and forth, like, should I do this all by hand, just paintbrush, or could I use a micron pen? So that's kind of in the back of my head while I'm painting these other parts. And then I was like, you know what? I think there's a time and place for this micron, and I think it's okay. I struggle with, like, I want it to be as pure as possible, and is this a cheat? But I'm still applying it by hand, so I'm okay with it. Just doing some cool little panels with the micron, little wavy lines, as if it's computing something. So this is kind of fun. And really like, I didn't draw anything out for this. I'm just going for it. Putting a little gauge, some little hands, some dials. I'm using a 0.005 micron. I do switch to a 0.5 a little bit later. I think you'll see that. I was kind of looking at some old robots, and there was maybe some two-tone things, so I painted this darker blue, and then I painted this yellow, and then I didn't really love that, so I think I'm going to maybe switch that up later. But while I got the paint out, I'm going to go ahead and paint some of the additional components. I was thinking maybe this is like a little battery cell, little lights that light up, those kind of things. Again, I'm looking at some vintage 50s robots to get some inspiration. Here I am just kind of painting over that section that I didn't like. And that's the nice thing about these projects. If you don't like something, just paint over it and redo it. I did use a micron to kind of outline the eyes. I felt like they were just kind of muddying up into the silver there. So added my little computing lines again. Then what I did was I took some masking tape and I actually masked off all the areas that I had painted. I used my little circle template, hand cut a little circle for my round dial there, and the rest I just kind of masked off with tape. And hopefully this works. It's kind of one of these things that I'm not exactly sure if this is the smartest way to do it, but this is how you learn. I sliced a little thin piece of tape just so I can wrap that around. Went outside, sprayed it with gloss red. And Christmas time for all makers is peeling off masking. So peeling that off, peeling off the face here, and right away I'm like, yeah, this is the right thing to do. This looks great. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to just peel off the rest of these little pieces. Again, for any maker, this is kind of like Christmas time to pull off masking. There's a couple little areas that I'm going to need to touch up, so I'll work on that. But I got this is more of like a coffee stir stick. I'm going to go ahead and sand that down just so it's nice and smooth and clean. Do some measurements off of my drawing. My dad gave me this little chop saw. I think we've already seen this once, so I got to use that again. Sanding off the edges, just rounding them out just a little bit. I've done 2 of those, and then I had this little thin piece of wood, so for the hand, I'm just kind of cutting with the X-Acto blade. It's not super thick wood, so I was like, I'm gonna go for it. I couldn't quite slice all the way through, so I used my snips just to kind of help finish it. It was a little bit rough, but just took a little sanding stick to it and cleaned that right up. Now for the inner part of the hand, I thought, I don't really want to try and cut that, so I thought, oh, you know what, if I just take my drill and drill a hole through that, then I can cut the bottom portion off. That should work out pretty nice. So I went ahead and trimmed the rest of the piece, and it broke. I was like, oh, man. The other hand, I didn't really have any problems, but for whatever reason, this one broke when I was trying to sand the inside piece. So I just super glued that back on and then sanded everything back down. Sprayed them silver. There's the popsicle arms, I guess coffee stir stick arms. This is a little scrap piece. I cut that for the nose. I think that's kind of cool. I just did a little dab of super glue on the back. I'll lay that down and I'll lay a little bit of silver paint on the nose there just to kind of blend that all in. Well, actually, you'll see here in a second, I have to redo this, but I really like the dimensionality. These Popsies, a lot of times they had very little extra parts, but they always had 1 or 2 little things that kind of make it stand out a little bit. So, check this out. Yeah, I did not pay attention to where I laid out my drawing, and it is totally crooked. I was so bummed that I actually just put it down and went to bed. The next morning, I was like, you know what? I've got those shorter legs that I didn't end up using, so I think if I super glue those in and cut them off, I think that will work. I am not a wood worker, so I was praying, please let this work. I just did a nice glob of super glue, put it in there, gave it a little twist, let it dry for a couple minutes, and then started cutting with my little miter saw. And I think it worked. No, I know it worked. It was a very fortunate thing for me. I did some sanding on there. I remarked the bottom, went back to my drill press, drilled some holes. I was kind of worried that maybe the dowels would like break apart. I didn't quite drill him deep enough. It looks like he's got little socks and his knees are sticking out. So no big deal. I'm just going to go back to my drill press and drill the holes just a little bit deeper. So when I took it down, I was holding it and the thing caught and ripped out of my hand. I ripped his nose off. I scratched the top up. The holes are deep enough so the shoes fit, but I was like, oh man. So now I have to figure out how to clean this up. So it actually worked out because now I can mask the top part because there's no nose on it. And then I wrapped it. I sprayed it with the red spray paint again. I got it all cleaned up. And yeah, you know, mistakes happen. I just wasn't hanging on tight enough and it just ripped right out of my hand. It ripped his nose off and it fell on the floor and I couldn't find it for like 5 minutes. I was hunting all around for his nose, but got the top all cleaned up. Now for the arms, originally I was thinking I'll put the hand underneath the arm, and it looked great until I turned it sideways and I was like, ugh, that looks awful. I hate that gap. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the hand a little bit shorter, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue that on to the very edge. Now, because it's going to be laying flat all the way across the body, I'm not worried about this hand falling off. There's very little glue holding it, but I used some masking tape to kind of help me guide where to line it up, visually where I wanted it. And I'm putting the glue on carefully because, again, I don't want it to squirt out all over the edges and kind of gunk up the robot itself. So I'm just smearing it around with a little stick, just kind of making sure it's not going to be messy. Line it up against my tape, press it down, and with the CA glue, just hold it for a couple of seconds, and yeah, that looks great. I'm going to go ahead and do that to the other side, and we'll have the arms finished up. Yeah, right across the top here, I'm going to clean up those lines. I'm going to glue his nose back on, and I think I'm going to wrap this one up. Actually, nope, I called an audible. I think I want to do a little bit of weathering on this thing just to give it that Dr. Toys weathered look. Not too much, just a little tiny bit of chipping, and I think this one's done. All right, the robot's done, and I'm not sure. It feels a little weird to me. I don't know. Maybe the face is just like this, like, but it does have that like vintage '50s feel. So, yeah, I don't know. It was an interesting exercise, like doing something so simple, and just getting to hand paint something, and then allowing the object to not be perfect because it is hand done, and that is kind of the aesthetic of it looking kind of cool and vintage, I guess. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is it cool? Should I make more? I would like to at some point make a Frankenstein one of these. I think that would be kind of fun, but I'm doing a year of robots, so I have to kind of hold off on that. But yeah, let's do some turnaround shots of this thing. Let me know in the comments what you think, and as always, it's a great day to be a toy nerd. Go make something weird.